So your car battery is dead and you don't have another battery to jump it. What do? Well, you would have to push start it. And this only work on manual cars. You cannot do this on an automatic car. And I'll explain to you why I'm saying this. So in order to push start a manual car, you first have to start by turning on your ignition and pressing your foot on the clutch pedal. After that, you shift to second gear. Once your foot is still pressed on the clutch pedal, ask at least one person to help you push the car. And once you reach the desired speed, which should be around 10 miles per hour or 16 kilometers per hour, release your foot from the clutch pedal and your car should start. So if you look through this push start process, you realize that there is just one component that is starting out in the car, and this component is the clutch. So when you press your foot on the clutch pedal, you are basically disconnecting the engine from the transmission, and that is why you have to keep your foot pressed on the clutch pedal while the car is being pushed, because at that moment the engine has no contact with the transmission, making the car to move freely. So now, why can't you do all of this on an automatic car? Well, you see, an automatic car do not use a clutch, obviously. In fact, that's actually one of its strengths. You just need to use 2 pedals instead of 3 in driving, and you don't even need to go through the stress of changing and shifting gears yourself like in a manual car. So in place of the clutch, what an automatic car uses is a component called a torque converter. And basically what it does is that it transfers the power from your engine all the way to the transmission of your car. It is also responsible for disconnecting the engine from the transmission, just like how the clutch does. But the one weakness this torque converter has is the fact that it uses the movement of fluids to transfer power from the engine to the transmission. And don't worry, I'll explain what I mean by that. So in a torque converter, there are a couple of components, but we'll just be talking about 3 of them: the turbine, the impeller, and the starter. The turbine is directly connected to the flywheel, which is also connected to the crankshaft. So as the engine is running, the crankshaft will drive the turbine to push the fluid towards the starter. And what the starter does is that it directs the fluid towards the impeller, and it also increases the force and speed of the fluid. From there, the force from the fluid will drive the impeller, which will then transfer that rotational force towards the transmission. The reason why this is a weakness is because of the fact that the torque converter depends on the engine to be running before it can work, compared to the clutch, which works on its own. Because the whole reason why you push start your car is to get the engine running. You have to be disconnecting and connecting your engine from the transmission in order to do that. But if the component that is responsible for doing that job is also depending on the engine to run, then how would you even be able to push start the car? Anyway, I hope you learned something in this video, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.